16, single 16 tops, I assure you. Either way around. Not changing his mind, I don't assure you.
I think he did the right thing there. The flight was in the way of the 48 bed, so going to the 60 was the right play there. The right thing to do here is to not miss tops.
Game shot.
And he doesn't. That's a super finish. An immediate break back. And now, shouldn't be a surprise then. You've played here before, it's been sticky before, you just adapt or you perish.
180.
And it looks very likely that Sikansky is going to perish.
85.
14 then for tops.
Game
And
shot.
Price makes a right start here in Hildesheim.
Real upset in the World Athletics Championship, but it's all about what you do next, not what's gone before.
140.
It's got to be good, and it's got to be now.
I have to give credit to Martinez for the fight that he's shown, even when it looked like Cole had got him where he wanted him. He's bitten back. That brilliant double-double finish, putting him in this position. There's no guarantee here that Jared Cole will take this out. 120, not an easy shot at all.
Not at all.
94.
He's not going to do the old basketball shot and go for the triple-double. He's going to go for the conventional 60 for tops, but that is now match
60.
point Tony Martinez.
So, double top. In it
Game
goes.
shot and the match.
And Tony Martinez completes victory over Jared Cole.
9.
That setup will do.
$85.
Keane just looks a little exasperated by this game so far. It's been a bit annoying to him. And he might just be 4-2 down.
No score.
But then again, he might be level. That first dart was so far away from his
55.
desired target that he's got every right to feel very upset with it. This double 16 is proving very elusive for Nick.
No score.
Very elusive indeed. To the right. Further to the right. And somehow in with those flat trajectory darts. And right now... Great last start from Nick. That makes the next shot so much more gettable.
100.
Keane can only halve his score. Another chance for the match. But it's the smallest segment.
58.
And that is a fourth match dart missed. And this time, Keane is not going to save his skin. He is distraught with that effort at the treble 20. It missed by a good inch and a half.
42.
And Nick's already taken this check out in the match. All he has to do is replicate to put himself through in the bottom half of board 7. He's not through. The Welshman is struggling to get over the line. How is Keane Barry still in this match? He's won. It's the beauty of that skidding dart that he throws. That dart was missing had it not been for the previous one. And I assure you, if Keane Barry takes this
99.
out, Nick Kenny will need to be left alone for 5 minutes. They're
90.
both on 2 darters. 10 legs completed. Who's taking this one? Super dart. Super check out.
And
a big sigh of relief for Nick Kenny. I think Keane Barry will be very philosophical about that game. He didn't really deserve to win it. Team seed by 6 legs to 4. So Mickey Mansell looking to join many of his countrymen in the next round.
99.
In fact, There is another Northern Irish player playing right now in Nathan Rafferty, but he's currently 5-4 down to Ricky Evans.
$58.
Mansell was castigating himself in the background there for leaving 162. Van Dongen's got a chance of a third ton plus checkout to get this match won. The 161 was brilliant. The 102 was arguably better than that because of the timing.
90.
But if he takes the 109, he will be very chipper. It's not going to be a shot right now.
57.
As to whether he gets another, it's down to this man. It almost looks like he wanted to leave double top.
52.
That might be the last dart he throws in this match, because Van Dongen has been pretty good when it comes to the outer ring when he's needed to be. And he is once again 6-3 win for Jules, and that was a really hard-fought victory at key times.
40.
I don't know about you, Dan, but I've always looked at Price as the kind of player who he almost still feels like a new player. We look at players like Mansell, for
58.
instance, in the previous game. He's been around 15 years in PDC darts. I don't think it should go unnoticed that Price is approaching his testimonial year. It's coming up to 10 years since he started. So we can't look at him as unexperienced or inexperienced in any sort of way anymore.
140.
I think his best years are ahead of him, not behind him.
I think you're right. I think at the minute he's playing this year, I think it could end up being as good as any year we've seen for Gowan Price. He's certainly going to be among the favourites at all the big TV titles at the back end of this year. As I say, at times this year he has looked like the best player on the planet. I don't think he's quite got the rewards his players deserved, but interesting decision there. I sort of like it. He's got the marker dart.
But he doesn't like that, though. 3 treble 18s in a row from both players. Must hit this.
54.
And because he's now missed 5 consecutive darts at double, he's going to be
Game shot.
3 legs behind. They are the fine margins.
Gave himself a chance to win the leg, and he does do. And Gowan Price is now looking to steamroller his way towards victory. This is not really a 5-2 game. Tony Martinez has missed darts at double. Specifically, missed his last 5 in a row.
80.
And those situations, Dan, you can't coach them. 150, he's thinking 60-60, double 15, but ultimately what he wants to do is leave any double. You don't coach that 128 approach, but you do think about 9 darters.
Well, Gowan Price, who has missed a 9 darter last year, hit 4 of them, all on
59.
TV. Looking to produce one here. Treble 19, that's the plan. It does not come off. But treble 19 now. Would have left himself on a double for the match and a 10 darter, but as it is, he's going to get match darts. It's just a case of how many and how many does he need.
You know what, Dan? The more I see him go for that
85.
141 on 19s first, the more sense it makes.
Yeah, he's worked out the best route. And he works out the 78 to finish, not with a 9, but an 11 darter.
January, and your month off has evaporated.
Yeah, I do wonder what the situation would be for Jules Van Dongen.
100.
Who is quite a long way off achieving that platform that you're on about.
140.
5-2, possible for Nick. Now, Jules has done well to leave this 101,
93.
but yet again, it's a shot that he's got to take to stay in the match. I feel like I've said that about 3 or 4 times already.
Well, there have been a lot of missed doubles from both players in this game. Nothing is guaranteed.
Pick your double. Could have even gone 12 for double 18. But this time he goes double 16 for double 8. And it is 5-2. strange doubling performance in more ways than one.
Awful lot of doubles. If ever there was a game where a player could win 4 legs on the spin, this might be it, because Jules Van Dongen, if he starts being more
140.
clinical, particularly on tops and tens, he may get enough chances.
I think there's 2 reasons it could possibly happen. One, Jules does have
96.
that resilience that we crave from certain players in this bracket of performance. But also, as he goes for tops,
51.
he's fortunate that Nick is not on a finish there. But the second reason is Kenny missed 6 match darts in his previous game,
140.
and when he gets a match dart, potentially, he might be thinking about that. Does he have to wait for match darts?
Well, tops,
15.
10s and 5s have crucified Jules Van Dongen, and Nick Kenny gets a chance to wrap it up. This could have been any score, but this would make it 6-2. And that is beautifully done by Nick Kenny. Perfect marker just inside the double 16. He follows it into the double. The best we've seen so far today. Price
39.
leaves a finish after 3 visits to the board. It's good. It's just shutting down opportunities for Nick Kenny.
100.
The man from Newport's going to have to rely on the man from Markham, missing loads of match darts from this position, you would think. Knocks off the 64 to leave a 2-darter. Could be a 3rd ton-plus finish of the match for Gerwyn Price, and it would bring an end to the match. But Nick Kenny
100.
is down to a finish. Will it matter? Maybe not. Double top. And double top is found. Gerwyn Price holds off Nick Kenny. Big danger in that bottom half of the draw. The likely final is Gerwyn Price versus Josh Rock.
140.
But how likely is that going to be? Well, it won't be possible if Connor Scott can win one more leg here. Once again,
100.
Jeff Smith has hit back after going behind.
$125.
Really nicely done to leave that double 18 he favours. This will leave top, single 18.
138.
Will it matter?
Game
It won't.
shot.
It's a 13-darter. Jeff Smith. Big, big moments. It's on. Double 16. And Jeff
75.
Smith misses just outside. Chris Dobie could go double-double if he doesn't find the treble first dart. It is double-double. And he cannot get the first one.
37.
And Jeff Smith, the arch finisher, with 3 darts in hand, looking at double 16 for a 5-4 lead. The
Game
Canadian
shot.
leads this one against the number 20 seed, the Masters champion. What a way to win it this would be. It's not going to happen, but Chris Dobie has got a clear 70 here, and that is no gimme. Particularly when Jeff Smith has just
122.
done that. Leaves himself double 18 for the match. Chris Dobie, can he shut the door? Great dart, double 8.
Yep.
It's in. He had to check. Knocks him out his rhythm. Does it matter? Double 4. 2 darts missed to force a last leg decider, and Chris Dobie could be sent packing. Jeff Smith for a first ranked quarter-final in more than a year. It is
shot
there.
and a
Jeff
match.
Smith gets it done. He adds Chris Dobie, the Masters champion, to his list of conquests today. Okay. Leaves 170.
Goodin's going to apply some pressure. Down he comes for the 17s. It's
171.
perfect setup play from Andrew Gilding. And he's going to get a go at the target he hit to win the last leg.
75.
So for a 13-darter. The tricky switch, as we call it, is too tricky for Goldfinger. 3 darts missed to cut the gap to just 1 leg.
Game shot.
Yeah, that's absolutely excellent from Josh Rock. Gilding had his chance, didn't take his chance, hasn't been able to hold his throat in the entirety of this contest, and that is what is ultimately going to cost Andrew Gilding if he can't be first to a finish here.
We could, but he's going to need Josh Rock to do something really, really silly
99.
right now.
He would need a complete disaster, and that's not going to happen.
100.
Could have used the ball with the last start, made it a little bit more appetising.
Is he going to come to regret that decision? Gilding probably needs another treble and
99.
doesn't get it, but it does leave the 147 that Josh Rock took out earlier.
Maybe the number of the match. Well, Josh Rock took this out in the
45.
4th leg to extend his lead, to take control against Andrew Gilding. Can Gilding take the same finish out? The answer is no. And it means Josh Rock will have more match darts. He's missed one
87.
already.
Josh Rock to win it and book his place in this.
Good recovery really from Richie Edhouse, because that was a really
40.
poor leg, the previous one. Didn't challenge Price at all. So to have reassumed control on throw in the one that follows is impressive.
94. $180.
And Price making sure he gets involved in this leg, a 4th max of the match for him, but Edhouse says no
Game
problem. And it might be Madhouse in the money match and Price in the doghouse.
100.
But the darting Rottweiler that he is, we know he will not roll over. He'll bare his teeth.
140. $57. $140. $140.
Bullseye will save the shot.
54.
And now Richie Edhouse has the opportunity to win this match. Double 18.
86.
That is a dart miss by Richie Edhouse to make his first big PDC final.
Game shot.
And you don't get those chances very often to pile in a 6th maximum.
$48.
And it's affected Edhouse, only managing to leave 170 and having to rescue the shot to do that. And 101 is no problem for Price. That's where it's turned. And all of a sudden, never ever been to a final. Never ever beaten Gerwyn Price.
180.
And maybe we're starting to see why. And why that man wins so many of these titles. 140, 180,
58.
leaving 181 after 6, when he could have been condemned earlier in this match.
90.
91 after 9 and a decider after weathering the fiercest of storms. And the look of resignation appears on the face of Richie Edhouse. He thinks it's all over. It is now.
And the match.
Gerwyn Price has turned it around.
He mentioned he's lost in 3 finals, but the fact that he's disappointed
140.
at the first 8.5 months of his season with 3 finals is a mark of where he wants to be.
123.
And Price likely to break straight back here.
100.
Single 20. Now having to move. You can see maybe 2/3 of the bed.
Game shot.
He can find it. Josh Rockers thrown a real mess there, and now Gerwyn Price is looking for one of those kills himself.
180.
That's just typical, isn't it? He starts with a maximum, then he gets 21, and then he has to watch the Iceman get a maximum of his own to give him a taste of his own medicine.
140.
The focus from both players is remarkable.
I love this. That was typical Price.
74.
But if Rock takes this, the pendulum swings. Just misses North.
100.
And he knew that that was a big moment. You could see in his micro reaction there. Can Price pin? Rock can't watch.
5.
But he will hear 5. And he will smell blood. Will he land tops?
40.
Chances missed by both. We are at the midpoint of this final. It's not all about 170 finishes. Sometimes it can be as small as 5.
Game shot.
Look at that. A celebration for a double 1. 2-visit kill. But if he takes it out and stops
135.
Josh from getting a shot at 59, it will be within 1. Just gets the single. Doesn't get the
100.
double. Now, Josh Rock hit treble 5 with his last dart. If he got single 5, this would have been a much more difficult shot.
What interests me is, again, he wasn't looking. He has no idea how close Price was.
39.
But now he'll be expecting to hear game shot. That double 5 again, it hasn't been a friend to him. And maybe this time the aggressive dart wasn't the right play.
So ironic that that's the double that won him his world title. And it's cost him so many shots.
And it may hurt him here.
10.
But it doesn't.
Just a little plateau in performance on the
Game
outer
shot.
ring, but that's put right by Price, who restores that 2-leg advantage. Beating Radek Shigansky in his first match, then Tony Martinez, Nick Kenny's compatriot, Jamie Hughes, who took him to a last leg decider
180.
for demolishing Jeff Smith and then getting the better of Richie Edhouse on a 180 in what he hopes is the last leg of the match. Doesn't leave a finish. Josh Rock
128.
couldn't manage to leave one either.
He could have got the score that Price actually had, but I think going for the 60 there was the right shot.
122.
It's remarkable from Price to leave tops after 12. It is a guaranteed shot. No matter what Josh does here, he can't stop Gerwyn Price in his quest
160.
for a 14th Players' Championship victory.
And Gerwyn
Game
Price
shot and the championship.
prevails at the Players' Championship once again. It may not have been top price throughout the tournament, but he's good value for the win. He defeats Josh Rock, 8-5 in the final. There you see the numbers, both players in that mid-90s range in the averages.
Some good darts throughout the day. Close shave a couple of times, Jamie Hughes and Richie Edhouse in the semis.
Yeah, I scraped through a few games, even in this final. You know, I'm not at my best, but I'm winning, so that's all that matters. Yeah, I came here, didn't know where my game was. I haven't been in many ranking events over the last couple of months, but yeah, to win this one gives me a good boost of confidence and looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, talk to us about your decision to come here, because obviously a number of the top 10 aren't here. Some have been down under with you. Their spots in the big TV tournaments coming up for assured. Is this about getting sharp, or did you just feel, I want some more titles?
No, definitely about getting sharp. I mean, I've been in some events over the last couple of months, but they're not ranked and don't really mean much. And these are the sort of events that get me sharp. even though today I don't think I've played anywhere near where I can. But I played some good darts at times when it mattered, and yeah, it was 2 or 3 games where I probably could have lost, been bombed out of the tournament. But yeah, these are the tournaments that you need to be playing in if you want to be sharp, if you want to win tournaments, if you want to win majors, you need to come to these.
Josh Rock, obviously in the final. I think that's his 4th appearance in a final this year. First time he's played you in a big deciding game in a tournament. Are you anticipating running into him in the latter stages of some tournaments towards the end of the year as well?
Yeah, I mean, Josh a great player. I mean, he's still a youngster, and he's like I said, a fantastic player. But yeah, hopefully we meet in a couple of finals. If I get there, I don't mind meeting him. But yeah, Josh wasn't at his best today. Neither was I. It was whoever took their chances, and a couple of missed doubles here and there. And yeah, thankfully I took my opportunities a little bit more than what he did.
Obviously, you've been quite willing to sort of pick and choose a few tournaments this year because you've been so busy with things like the Premier League. You're in pretty much everything. So this back end of the year, is it foot to the floor, playing everything, or are you still looking for where you can get that rest?
I spoke to the boys on the table earlier. James Wade and Aaron Monk sat on the table. And as soon as my property's finished, I mean, honest, I've been so up against it the last 2 years trying to get the house finished and everything. As soon as this is done, I'm hitting everything. I'm going to all the Pro Tours, all the Europeans. So over the next 2 years, I'm going back to where I used to be, and that's hitting everything, getting as sharp as I can, and hopefully back to world #1 within the next 2 years.
So that's very much the sort of long-term target. I mean, winning the World Championship
not so much getting to world #1, but just playing good darts, getting to the latter stages of big events. If you win the Worlds, then you're in a running for a world #1. So yeah, I want to win the Worlds this year. I want to start playing a lot more than what I have. I'm playing in a lot more ranking events because I've missed so many. But yeah, back end of this year and the next 2 years, I'm going all guns blazing.
Peter Wright's talked about it recently. He says that I've skipped a bit too much and it's probably affected my game. Do you have to playing more and winning more? It does keep you sharp, doesn't it?
Definitely these. I mean, I've played 7 good games today. You know, I've been up against it. I've played some good darts in patches, but you know, when my back's against the wall, I've had to come out fighting. So yeah, these are the events that you need to play in if you want to win majors, because this is what gets you sharp. You can miss as many of these as you want in Europeans, but you won't win majors then because you need to be sharp. So yeah, I'm going to hit a lot more of these, as many Europeans as I can next year, and get back to my best.
And there we go, Gerwyn Price, underlining the importance of the Players' Championship. He takes his first Players' Championship title of the year. It's his 3rd in total, with a couple of Euro tours that he picked up earlier on this year, and he'll be back tomorrow to try and make it back to back. We'll see you then. Our coverage 1 p.m. local time, 12 p.m. in the UK. See you then.